Hi, this is Jim with glitterandstonetemplates.com. I've been asked a lot of times over the past several days how to use my baseball alphabets, or not my baseball, my sports series of alphabets or letter sets, whatever you'd like to call them. It's actually very simple. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and take you through one of these as they all work the exact same way. So as you can see, I've done baseball, soccer. We also have basketball and volleyball that are completed at this time. So what you're going to do is you're going to start out by going to glitterandstonetemplates.com, find your alphabet of choice, go ahead and purchase that and download it. What you're going to end up with is a zip file. In this instance, we will be using the soccer letter set, as the most recent question I had came up about this letter set. So what you're going to do is double click your zip file. Now some of you might have WinRAR, some of you might have your standard Windows zip extraction utility. They both work kind of the same way. You're just going to hit extract to, or just simply extract, and you're going to choose where you want it to go. In this instance, I'm just going to let it go to my desktop and click OK. When you open the file, you're going to end up with a list of different files. Now, some may have this many, some may only have one or two. In this instance, this alphabet was split up into complete letters, just the fill, and just the outline. This was done because there were users of home craft machines. They used the Silhouette software, and also some use the Cricut software, and this tends to lock up that software when trying to open the entire file all by itself. But since I'm showing you how to do this in Corel Draw, I'm just going to go ahead and work in the complete file, which is what I tend to like to do anyways. So I'm going to go ahead and double click on my EPS file. If you are in Silhouette or Cricut, I believe you're going to use the SVG. So click into your respective file. I'm going to go ahead and import this as curves, and you end up with this set of letters. Now in this file, like I said, everything's been separated, so it's just this set of letters. If it has not been separated, you will end up with a section where it is just fills and a section where it is just outlines. So basically what we're going to do, and I'm going to show you a couple different ways, is you just start by selecting your letters. I'm going to do the word soccer. It just seems to be simple. So I'm going to make sure that I have my pick tool selected over here in Corel Draw. I'm then going to select a letter by holding down my left mouse button and clicking and dragging. So that selects the whole letter. Now you can do this one of two ways. You can copy and paste the letter and drag it over by either hitting Control C to copy and Control V to paste, and once you've done that, you can simply drag and drop. I like to do this a little bit different, less buttons to press. So we've got the S done, we'll go and do the O now. So I'm going to select my O, and then what I'm going to do is just hold my left mouse button down, drag it over, and I'm going to right click before releasing my left mouse button. That will copy and paste where I dragged it and leave the other ones still intact. So that's what I'm going to do. I then do my C, and then there's another C, so we're going to make a duplicate of that. Then I'm going to grab my E, and finally my R. Now, there are several different ways that you can choose to approach the next task. You can either drag down a guideline from the top, and that will help line your letter or your word up. Or what I like to do is I will highlight each letter individually and hit Control G to group each letter individually. You can also go up to the top once you have your letter selected, and right up here is the group button. You can hit that button as well. It does the same thing. Now once I have these grouped, it allows me to move it without moving my outline or my fill. So now I've got things kind of where I want them. What I'm going to do is just start dragging the letters over just enough to overlap these gray boxes. So I'm going to go ahead and get that done. Now your spacing doesn't have to be exact while doing this, because what we're going to do is use a couple different shortcuts in Corel Draw to make this kind of work for us. Now you can see that we've got the resemblance of a word here. What we can do is we can select the entire word, and we can hit Control. We can just hit the letter E on our keyboard. The letter E on our keyboard is going to line those up perfectly, and then what we're going to do is if you hold your Shift key and you hit P, it will space them out evenly, so you know they're the same distance apart from each other. So now we have the word soccer perfectly. What I'm going to do is back up a couple steps and show you how you can do the same exact thing in EasyStone now. Again, with less hotkeys and whatnot. So you're still going to drag them over. You're still left with the same jumbled mess. But once you get over into EasyStone, you can simply highlight your letters, and what you're going to do is you can still hit E to line them up, and then to space them evenly, you're just going to hit this H button, which will then space them apart evenly. So we're left with the same result. So I'm going to put EasyStone away for now, and we will start working with the actual letter itself. So now we're stuck with this soccer letter, and everything's all grouped together. So what I do is I highlight the entire word, and you have two different options. You can ungroup, or you can ungroup all. What we're going to do is we're going to ungroup, just ungroup, don't ungroup all. Now you can do this one of two ways. What we need to do is we need to separate the fill from the outline. I always grab the outline because I know it's always going to be in one piece. So I start by clicking the black portions of my letters, because as you can see, that's my outline. If you hold down your Shift key, you can select more than one object at one time. So hold down your Shift key, click the next piece of black, the next piece of black, and so on. Once you've done all your letters, you should simply be able to left click and drag down and just release on that. Then you're left with two separated files. Okay. Now what you're going to do is you're going to select either one, really. But we'll start, because there's no weed boxes around the outlines at the moment. You're going to select everything you did just by left clicking and dragging. You're going to select the entire outline, and what you're going to do then is hold down your Shift key and double click this rectangle tool. What that's going to do is it creates a box around your entire word without you having to manually put one there. Then what I like to do is go up to the top, and you'll see the measurements of the box itself, and I just up those a little bit. So for instance, this is 6.062 now. I'm going to go ahead and make this 6.75. Now that this is 6.75, what it does is it kind of sizes it proportionally. So now I'm left with a weed box, so I can weed my vinyl. And you can adjust that if you want to. You can bring in the sides to make it a little tighter, whatever you're comfortable with. And then you're going to come up to where the fill portion is. Make sure that you grab your pick tool, and you're going to start deleting these gray boxes. Now your underlying letter in this case is white, so it's going to disappear for a second, but it's not gone. So all you need to do is left click and drag and select your fill portion. You can change the color if you want to make it easier to see, and then we're going to do the same thing. We're going to hold down our Shift key, double click our rectangle tool, and we'll go ahead and make that 6.75. And like I said before, if you want to drag that in a little bit, you can. And now you have a completed, ready to cut word. Now, this process is a little bit easier with the Easy Stone macro. So that's why I wanted to bring Easy Stone into this. I know that a lot of you use Easy Stone now. If you don't, you should run over to Easy Stone Templates and grab it. You'll get a 60-day free trial. It's a wonderful macro. It will save you so much time, you won't believe it. So go ahead over and grab that and try this out. So what I'm going to do is just back up to the point where I have to select and separate everything again. So here we are. I've lined up everything. I've made sure everything's evenly spaced. And what I'm going to do is bring Easy Stone up. And one of the nice things about Easy Stone is its selection tools. And they're not only good for doing the rhinestone designs, they're also good for your vinyl designs as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just click on one of my outlines. In this case, I'll just do the first one in the letter S. And I'm going to mark that as the selected object in Easy Stone. I'm then going to highlight the entire word, hit Create Selection, and it's going to create a selection of objects that match the properties of the object that I first selected. So when I drag this down, I should only have all the black. So I'm going to left mouse click, drag it down. I have all the black. So that worked out good. Why I still have this selected, I'm going to come back into Easy Stone and I'm going to hit the AW button, which is going to automatically add a weed border. Now, our outline was black, so as you can see, it did disappear, but not for long. We'll go ahead and change that weed box color to yellow, and there's your outline again. So then what we're going to do is we can do the same exact thing up here in your fill portion. So just select the first gray box, mark selected object, select the entire word, hit Create Selection, and hit Delete. And that should get rid of all your gray boxes. Left click and drag to select the underlying letters, and again you can change the color if you want to, and then simply click the AW button to add a weed border around those letters again. And now you are left with a ready to cut file. So 2 different ways to accomplish the same thing. I think that Easy Stone is a little easier, a lot quicker. Again, Corel can do the same thing. It's just a little easier because you've got a button in front of you. So I would suggest doing it that way, but I showed you both ways anyways. So now all you're going to do is mirror these, send them to your cutter as normal, and you are ready to go. So thanks a lot for watching the video. If you have any other questions, drop me a line at jim@glitterandstonetemplates.com, or find me on the Bling Craftology page on Facebook. There's several different ways to get a hold of me. So thanks a lot for your time. I hope this works out better for you and answers your questions. If there's anything I didn't touch on, please just leave me a message and I will make sure to get back with you as soon as possible. Have a great night.